Is Roxy music mainly Bryan Ferry, Phil Manzanera and Andy McKay?
Not really, because for the last 5 years there have been a few other kind of musicians as well who have been equally important. I mean, gradually you get a sort of working nucleus of players, and then if the chemistry is right, you kind of keep it like that and maybe add somebody else to it. And I suppose it's like cooking or something, trying to perfect a recipe or something. Especially when I'm in the studio, I really have to rely on my own instinct and own feeling about what I want to do. If I kind of please myself, if I come out of the studio at the end of the day and think, I think that's good, that's the only yardstick I can judge by. After that, I hope that the audience, a huge audience, is going to like it, obviously. I think any artist wants to have approval, I think that's why people do things like make records or write books, for kind of universal approval, approval of their existence on this planet.
But Evelyn in particular doesn't mean anything special.
I felt that this was the most kind of romantic kind of album. It had this kind of mood which ran through it, which was very kind of pastoral. It was very much kind of nature, and I wanted to have a kind of ancient kind of feel about it. I did the cover in Ireland, which is where I started doing thinking about the music. I'd never been there before. I went there last year, the west coast of Ireland. As you can see from the photograph on the album, it's very kind of rugged, very kind of barren, but kind of misty and romantic. And I think also the year before, I saw that movie, the John Boorman thing, Excalibur, which was also shot in Ireland. I think that was a bit of an influence. I think it just suited the mood. Avalon, the name, is a very kind of romantic English legend. It's about King Arthur's, where they took him at the end after he dies. It's a nice kind of fantasy place, and that's where I usually go when I'm making music. To
fantasy places.
I think so, yeah. Well, I'm not so keen on the video thing now as I used to be, because I don't know, I like the idea at the moment of the music saying it all. I like the idea of this kind of anonymous bit of black plastic being put on a machine, and then these sounds come from it, and ideas come from it, and the imagination of the audience comes into play, and I think that is kind of more interesting to me than making videos with lots of surrealistic kind of cliches, stolen from various movies, which is how most of them are made, So lately, I think the best one we've done was Jealous Guy, which was just a kind of totally straight performance in a studio,
You'd like to give the audience the possibility to use their
imagination, exactly, yeah. But I mean, I really like to see an audience there, and in front of me. And I do like the live performance thing very much. And I think it's probably quite important, occasionally, to get out there and make the effort, and let them see me, and for me to see them as well. Because obviously, I feed off that enthusiasm, and the next time I go into the studio, I'll think, oh well.